Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warship Blitz video. Today's video is, well, I'm not going to go through all the patch notes, but I am going to go through the parts of the patch notes that very much excite me. So I will start with probably my favorite update in the patch notes, and that is here. So for those of you who have sent me a message and never get a reply, the reason that you never get a reply is that the friends list, as you can see, has a feature that I would describe, probably not unkindly, as randomize. So if I want to reply to Rubber Ducky, I am scrolling through my 191 friends to find Rubber Ducky, and if I see him, I have to hit that little button before it randomizes. So for those people that have sent me a message in the game and never got a response, the reason that you've never got a response is because basically I can't. However, in the patch notes, what it has said is that the friends will have a filter to sort in alphabetical order. Now that is 191 names to go through, but in alphabetical order, I'm pretty sure I can find the D's and the U's, or the R's, sorry, and the U's within the R's and the B's within the RU's. So yeah, there we go. So probably my most to look forward to update in the patch notes is the removal of the friends randomizer. There are some other things that are coming through in the in the updates that I'm looking forward to. I mean, there's 3 versus 3 division battles, which yeah, okay, then I'm more of a random battles person, probably bigger battles for me. But then again, I do have to say that I've enjoyed the. You can stop looking at my friends randomizing. I have enjoyed some of the battle modes, and the reason that we're looking at the Baltimore at the moment is that the Baltimore was at around about 190 or 180 XP about a week and a half ago, and last weekend there was the respawn event at tier 9. Now, I didn't really have a lot of time for respawn when it first came out. I didn't really think it fitted with the overall vision for the game. But once you play it, and if you have some missions or some ships to grind, respawn is amazing. So I really love respawn. I'm not so big on the team skirmish because I'm one of the random players, and generally 7 random players against a team of 7 who are coordinating with voice chat is absolutely yeah, a terrible place to be. But the Blitz Royale I really love. So I'm really looking forward to the new team mode, because what it is wargaming is going through the process of trying things out, and that is absolutely healthy for the game. What I am looking forward to is survival mode. So I do play World of Warship on PC with my friend. I'm not very good because I've got very bad habits, overly aggressive from my knife fighting experience with British cruisers. But it does have the operations, and one of the operations is defensive castle Newport, where waves and waves. It's a very simple operation. Basically, waves and waves of enemies come in, and it's up to you to defend the defend the base. And the survival mode is essentially the Blitz equivalent of defensive Newport, which is I think is going to be quite interesting. So it's really, really good to see this. This will really test players with those bots coming in, which I'm assuming that they are, wave after wave. Absolutely will be fantastic. Now the mechanism, the bot's abilities to dodge shells and dodge torpedoes and move in non-logical directions will of course be a major concern. There are new maps, which is good, some new maps for those new modes. The other things are pretty much around the ship balancing. It's good to see, as an example, let's go find them, that the Miyako, the Takao, the Ibuki, the Zhao, and the Maya, and the Oshino actually as well, all get a range increase in their torpedo range. So what that will do, it's the wrong thing, is that'll take the torpedo range out from 7.8 in this case out to 8.4. And I think that's a response to the fact that the French and the Italian torpedoes have extremely long range. But historically, the Japanese were the only people mad enough to use pure oxygen as one of the parts of the fuel supply rather than air. So their torpedoes did historically have extremely long range performance. So it's only fair that they're back in the game. So I'm really pleased to see that. There's a whole lot of changes around reload times for battleships. Nice to see the hood's gone down from 21 seconds to 20 seconds. That'll help. It's the only battleship I've got on. The secondaries reload time on the Scharnhorst and Gneise now has come down as well as the Bayern. So there's a few things changing in the battleships, but they are hardly major. The other thing I'm going to talk about is the Shipyard. So I'm going to start on my account and then I'm going to move over to the press account. So there'll be a short pause as I do the transition. But what I'm going to do is talk about what's coming up in the Shipyard rotation. It's good that they've announced that prior to the rotation because that way people can make a decision. Because those resources, let's go and have a look at those resources. Those resources take an awful long time to accumulate, which means it's good that people have a choice on how to spend them. So for those of you who are really in love with the key or the Mikhail Kutuzov or the Benham, you get fair notice about those are the options that are available for you. For those of you that are on the fence, you get the option of going, I'll choose something here or what's coming up. So let's go through what's coming up in the Shipyard. So let us start with two that are on my account, and then we'll move over to the ones that I don't have, which is pretty much most of them, which is good news for me because, as you can see, I have a lot of resources. Number one is the Exeter. So this was a Blitz pass ship. My experience with it has been sort of indifferent. Other people love it. It is a heavy cruiser at tier 5. British heavy cruiser guns have problems punching through armour, and it doesn't quite have the same sort of agility and rapid fire that the Emerald has for dealing with destroyers. So I find this is a little bit of a no man's land ship. It's a nice looking ship. It does take a premium commander, so it can go into battle with David Beatty fully spec'd out. But yeah, so it's a ship of historical importance. I think that's probably the main thing. It took on the Graf Spee at the Battle of the River, off the coast of South America. That led to the Graf Spee scuttling. So the Exeter, important historically in the game. Not sure. The next ship is definitely something to save for. The Belfast is going into the Shipyard. That means for copper or steel or whatever they put on it. And it's such a good ship that I won't complain either way. Means that you've got an opportunity to grind for this fantastic ship. So the Belfast still exists. It's a museum ship in the Thames at the moment. But in the game, the Belfast is probably one of the best cruisers in the game. It's the tier 7. It's tier 7. It's probably the strongest cruiser. It's well, it's not that quick. It's not slow. It is agile. It's got multiple smokes. It's got sonar. It's got radar. It really is a very much utility ship, and it is a very, very nasty thing to play against. And it can take the amazing David Beatty captain, which makes this ship absolutely insane. Probably the most overpowered ship in the game, apart from, I would say, Roma. So definitely by putting that in the Shipyard, for those of you that don't have the cash to spend on Belfast when it comes up, but have a bit of time to play, to grind for a bit of copper, what I'd do is I'd say get grinding, because this is really, really, really worth it. And all I can say is I do feel it is quite generous of Wargaming to stick this in a place that those that are playing rather than paying can get their hands on it, because it is a fantastic ship. So there will be a short pause in transmission as I work my way through to the press account to go through the remaining ships that are coming up in the Shipyard. Welcome back. Hopefully that lines up. Right, so the first ship, the next ship that is available in the shipyard, because they generally have a couple of low tiers or one low tier, is the Imperator Nikolai I, which is the premium tier 4 Russian battleship, which came out in one of the Blitz passes. I've heard a lot of people say good things about this. I've played it. I'm not a particular fan of these sort of these layouts of battleships. I prefer a more conventional layout with super firing turrets and all the rest of it. But at tier 4, it seems to be that it performs reasonably well. So the next item that is appearing in the shipyard, we have to go all the way up to tier 8. Let's get out of the Russian territory. Let's get into the British territory, is the Vanguard. So the Vanguard is there's been the Roma, there's been the Key, and the tier 8 battleship. For this rotation is the Vanguard, which I don't have, which I'm very much looking forward to getting. Apparently it's got British vulnerability in the armour, but it's got very good manoeuvrability, but a slightly poor firing angle. So it's not a perfect ship. It's not super powered like the Roma, but anyway, that will complete my my list of British battleships, weirdly enough. Right, the next one, which is a very pleasant surprise, is the Cheshire. The Cheshire's a strange beast. I like this. It has a rather crazy set of skills, which is ideal for hunting destroyers, but it's got those large guns, 6 large guns, that as British heavy cruisers don't really punch through armour particularly well and are a little bit large and slow firing for destroyers, so it does have a bit of a problem finding its place, but it does get an extra repair kit. So and I did enjoy playing it. So I shall be Mikhail Kutuzov is not my thing. For those that like long range Russian sniping, definitely get the Mikhail Kutuzov while you can. But the Cheshire is definitely more my style. So there is one final ship. There is usually a tier 8 destroyer. So the first one was Yukikaze, or a high tier destroyer. The first one was Yukikaze. The second one was the Benham. This time it is the Asashio, which I'm in two minds about. I have the Yukikaze, which I really like. I have the Kagero, which I really dislike. I don't know. The thing about the Asashio is it has deep water torpedoes, and often destroyers end up having to fend off other destroyers, and it has poor Japanese guns with they're reasonably hard hitting, but slow reloading, slow traverse, and yeah, good luck with that. So in two minds, I'm not really keen on the Benham. I'm more keen on sort of more of a standard destroyer, more of a tier 8 destroyer. I don't really enjoy tier 9. Speaking of tier 9, let's go through the final list of ships that will be available in the, if I can go and find it, in the updated Blitz Pass. We're going to need to go here and here and here. Okay, and it's quite a big list, isn't it? So first of them is Missouri, which is an historical ship, very famous, very important, and the Missouri is the only battleship in the game that has radar, and has 2 of them, which is nice. Probably better than sonar, because even with sonar on one of these big ships, by the time you detect torpedoes, it's all over. Radar means that if something disappears into smoke and you've got HE loaded on those guns, you can give it a final slam. Now, with only 10 seconds and your reload time being double that, you'll just get one shot out, but that one shot is usually pretty significant. The Georgia is the next one, which is infamous for having, I think, 18-inch guns, or close to 18-inch guns, pretty close to Yamato-sized guns, 6 of them, tier 9. So for those of you that are keen, I think the Georgia, I suspect that we are looking at titanium-based ships rather than copper or steel. And the final one being the tier 9, what's tier 10? Okay, it tells you how good I am at reading my own notes. It's the Yoshino, which is a tier 10 heavy cruiser, 310mm guns, 9 of them, 13-second reload, longer range torpedoes than is listed here, because the patch notes talks about increasing the range of those. So yeah, for those of you that are looking at the top tier for who have a bit of titanium or whatever the resource is, that's the what's that resource? What's that? Titanium. Whatever is yeah. So for those of you that are looking for titanium spins, I think yeah, those are the three options that are coming up, as opposed to the current options, which are let me go find it. Whatever the current options are, because that's the press account which has them. Okay, so I hope this is useful information. It's probably a little bit all over the place, but I wanted to point out what was important to me. The only other thing that I forgot to mention that I should have mentioned, and it's not in the patch notes, is that wargaming is experimenting with game styles, and there is asymmetric battles. So listen, do have a go at these things, and if you have a go at these things and you think it's really great, let us know. If you think they're really crap, let us know, but let us know what the problems are so that we can provide constructive feedback. But if you really like any of these particular battle styles, do let us know, because I do have the opportunity to provide pretty direct feedback. And yeah, if you like something, tell people that you like it, and that's the best way to guarantee getting more of it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.